is not a new concept. History has shown us the experiences of the historic voices and martyrs. Have you been struggling with pain in the past? Do you need help dealing with things that are holding you back from achieving all that you want in life? Tune in to My Pain, Your Gain, hosted by Pastor Arthur Williams. This show is designed to help the next generation accomplish the goals they've set out to attain through practical conversations. Join in and find how to turn prior pain into glorious gain.
Good morning, family. Good morning, My Pain, Your Gain family. Welcome back for another episode of My Pain, Your Gain, hosted by your boy, Pastor Art. It's good to see everybody again this week. Thank you again for all your support. I'm going to say that every week because without you, the word cannot get out. And so I thank all my guests that have been here with me. This week I'm by myself, and we're just going to have a candid conversation as always, where the real keeps it real. I'm thankful and grateful again for the opportunity to share my life, my pain with you, so that we all can grow together. Listen, I haven't made it. I'm not there yet. I'm still a work in progress. And so I'm grateful that you guys tuned in today. Listen, I just want to have a quick conversation about asking just a question. Have you ever been in a place in your life to where, man, it just seemed like all hell was breaking loose in your life? At one end, it felt like things were going right. Things were going the way you planned them to go. And so sometimes in life, there are transitions that happen that's unexpected and places you in unfamiliar territory. And so how do I respond in that unfamiliar territory? In my life right now, I'm dealing with multiple issues. I'm dealing with multiple things in my life that could literally take my mind. It could literally take me out if I didn't have a connection to God, if I didn't have a connection to praying people in my life that will pray me through it, that can help me. Listen, I know sometimes you want to go through things by yourself. You want to take things on by yourself. But in reality, you need real people in your life to help you through some of the issues and dilemmas that you may face. And in this season in my life, I haven't been shy with it. I haven't been moving away from it, but it's something that I've been dealing with the expected but unexpected right now, because you know how you can wait on some things to happen. You know it's coming. You're preparing, but nothing can prepare you for certain situations that you have to face in life. And so even though you've prepped for it, you always have to be willing to accept sometimes the unexpected. And so the unexpected issue or trauma that I may face right now, I know it's only temporary, but when you're connected to someone for so long, it kind of takes you into another place. And so in this dispensation in my life, I'm dealing with the fact that one of my children, and my children are my heart, my children are my life stream. And I hope this will help somebody out today. Don't be afraid, men. Don't be afraid to show your love to your children. Like, show them compassion, show them your vulnerability sometimes, because sometimes they need to see their strong father show vulnerability. Hey, it's all right. You know, we was coming up, you know, it wasn't okay for a man to cry. It wasn't for a man to be, you know, that was considered to be soft. You was considered to be a soft man if you cried or showed some type of emotion. But listen, that's what kills us. That's the number one thing that takes us out is stress. We're stressing over something that we could literally fall over one day and die because we're holding it in. Crying is a stress reliever. It's a release valve so that you can be free from that bondage a little bit. Maybe it may help. It may not help as you want it to help, but it is an area that you can release your pain, release your issue. And so I've cried it out, but it still bothers me. And so Apollo just left, and he's going and leaving us and going to the Maryland area. But my faith and my hope is built in him. And so today I just wanted to share my heart. There's some days you don't feel professional. There's some days, if we be honest and truthful with us on My Pain and My Gain, that's what this is about. My Pain, Your Gain, is I want to share how I dealt with this situation. Yes, I had to have conversations. I had to express how I felt. I had to express my feelings. And sometimes we don't want to share our feelings. We don't, because we're kind of nervous of who to talk to. But I prayed to God and I was like, God, give me the people that I need in my life long time ago that I can go talk to and have a conversation with, and they can literally help me with that situation. And so in this season, there's some people like that would just randomly text me or randomly call me just to check on me because I let them into my space. And when I let them into my space, they pray with me. There's some people that can only ride with you on the mountaintops of your life. There's people in your life that are only mountaintop friends. But then you also need foxhole friends that will get in the foxhole with you and pray with you. Sometimes there's some situations that you can't get out of. God will not pull you out of it. Sometimes you have to face situations in your life unexpectedly. You have to go through them because it is ultimately an assignment by God. And so are you willing to accept the assignment? Because every day is not going to be sunshine. Every day is not going to be blue skies in your life. And I'm quite sure all of us can agree with that on today. Family, there's sometimes where you have to get to yourself and get in a place to where you can literally hear God. And so not only just hear God, but also understand that the issue that you're trying to run from could possibly be detrimental to you. And so you have to, as you're prepping, and as I was prepping for this moment, I also prepped my mind for this moment. I prepped my spirit for this moment. And so I signed up for a mental health counselor. I signed up to, and that's the great thing about my ministry that I'm under, the pastor that I'm under, the foundation that I'm in, to where there was mental health counselors that's professionals at the church that handle certain situations. And it's between you and them, it's confidential. And so as we've been talking through this, we've been discussing this, what's my move? And so the move was to basically do more, spend more time with him, allow him to understand, yes, daddy's gonna miss you. Daddy gonna be all right, and you gonna be all right. But listen, it's all right. Daddy's gonna miss you, man. And but what got me through this season, and what's getting me through this season, because it's far from over, what's getting me through this season is my relationship with God is developing and getting stronger. And that's what we should desire as Christians, as people of God, is every day of our life is to be stronger, grow stronger in him. The only way you can grow stronger in him is that you have to, number one, develop a relationship. Well, how you develop a relationship? You have to tune in. I understand there's so many conversations about the church. There's so many negative conversation toward the church. But the only way I could have got through this is having a relationship and developing my relationship with God, sitting up under the Word of God, the Word of God ministry. You would not believe. A lot of times we're looking for a prophet to tell us what we already know. We're looking for a prophet to speak to them when God already spoke to us. But when we go to the house of God, that's confirmation. That the prophet is speaking to you. And in this season leading up to this moment of my life, I thank God that I paid attention. I thank God that I paid attention because there was a line of messages that prepped me for this moment in my life. And so I was able to write those things down and revisit those sermons that helped me through this season. This season wasn't a season for me to preach. This season was a season for me to sit back and absorb what God was speaking to me in that season and in this season. And so I want to be encouraging to you as we move, as our children vastly approaching day one of school. Some have already gone back to school. Let's, number one, connect ourselves to positive energy. Positive energy. I can't be in this season. I couldn't be connected to negative energy. I had to connect myself to positive energy. Yes, I will face some negative energy, but at the end of the day, those that are around me have to be the ones to be that positive energy. And so in the morning, I would receive certain phone calls or texts. Hey man, just checking on you, making sure you good. In certain seasons in your life, you need people in your life that not only they're going to challenge you, but they're also going to push you to move out of the place of depression before you even make it into the place of depression. There's some people in my life that saw that on me. They began to see depression fall on me. They began to see it start to ooze down my life and through and you know, when it starts to mess with your heart, what goes on the inside, it begins to start illuminating on the outside. And so I didn't want that type of light. I didn't want that type of darkness. I'm a happy guy. I'm fun loving. I love to have fun. And I saw myself not really having fun. And sometimes when you're dealing with that and people are telling you, bro, you may need to go to get checked out. And I know we've talked about this and we touched on this before, but I wanted to revisit this today because this is what this show is about, is helping develop us and get us to that place. And so as I was going through this season of my life, I didn't want to hear nobody telling me I need to go to mental health counseling. What? Man, I'm a preacher, I'm a pastor, whatever. All right, whatever. I work in ministry. And what I discovered that I was doing, I was drowning myself with work. I was drowning myself with being active and overlooking the fact that I was hurting. I think I shared with you guys a few months ago with the fact when I lost my daughter, my first child. When I lost my first child, I never grieved. I never had a chance to grieve because guess what? The onus was on me. I had to be the man of the house. I had to be the one to figure out a way how, because I was young, had to figure out a way, man, this was unexpected. How am I going to handle this? And God placed some great people in my life that helped me in that season, that helped me get to the place where I could bury my child. And so I went through that season, but I didn't realize that I was still mentally jacked up from that. I never got a chance to grieve and didn't know it. And so a lot of times you're walking around and let me help you out. I had COVID and got over COVID, but I went to the doctor. And when I went to the doctor, my blood pressure was high. Didn't even know it. And I know y'all look at me, oh, this guy stay in shape, he fit. You know, y'all lost a couple of pounds. But stress will kill you. Stress will take you out of here. And it's unexpected. And as I was sitting there, the lady was taking my blood pressure, the nurse, and she said, whoa. She said, you don't feel that? And I said, no, I'm good. And she said that's one of those silent killers. And so I had no clue that my pressure was that high. And so I had to have a come together meeting with my team and say, hey man, there's some weight that got to come off of me because we need to make sure everything is in place. And I love to delegate in leadership. And so I had to meet with my team again and say, hey, I need to take some of this stress off of me. What do you guys think I need to do? What do you guys think I need to back up from? And so that's always good. That's always good to, number one, understand that you are and accept it. Accept the fact, because what good are you not accepting it and you in the ground? How can you help your family? How can you provide for your family? How can you help support your family if you're not here? I'm here to tell you, I didn't know that my pressure was high. I didn't have a headache. I didn't have any chest pains, nothing. And as I sat there, I said, I have to make some change. That means I have to research myself. I have to look at myself and say, man, what do I need to change about my life? And so for this short time that we have today, I want to encourage you this morning before you go out and get busy and start moving around, slow down and take inventory of yourself. Are you hurting? Are you in pain? Do you need help? Because a lot of times we soak our life with so much to where we miss the fact that we're losing ourselves. And I was at a point in the state that it felt like, I don't know if anybody felt like this, but y'all can, comment in the comments or whatever and just conversate back with me, and I'll see them later. But I know most of us have felt this before, to where it seems like things are going good, seems like things are going well, and then you have a Job moment, and then there came another day. And it seemed like in this season of my life, with all this great stuff happening, yay, Pastor got a podcast, everything's going, God is blessing in this season. God is showing me, bruh, without me, you're nothing. But with me, you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. And so with all of this great stuff going on in my life, I also had to deal with some painful and valley moments of my life. Some caused by me, and some just a mere fact of life. The facts, I heard Pastor John Allen Newman say this, the facts of life. And sometimes we can't handle the facts of life. And when God, sometimes when he places us in assignments and he places things in our life, number one, I must understand, I must maintain my integrity while I'm going through it. And I ain't preaching this morning. I just want to give you some points. This not a preaching session. Family, I just want us to understand that we must face adversity with humbleness. I must maintain my integrity in the face of adversity. When adversity hits, that means I must maintain who I am, and I can't fold. Yes, I may get weak, I may get weary, I may get wounded, but at the end of the day, I'm still alive. And because I'm still alive, I have a reason to live for the next day, the next day after that, the next day after that. Because trust me, temporary, permanent decisions for temporary problems is not worth it. And there's some people out there making decisions on their own to either take their own life or thinking about taking their own life. And we had a testimony last week on this show that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And as I close this thing out today, listen, I was in that season of my life to where I was in a valley. And if we look at David while he was in a valley, David saw the shadow of death. He saw the shadow of death. That means that if he saw a shadow, there had to be a light somewhere. So if I continue to move forward in life, I will eventually come out of this thing. And so as we witnessed the testimony of Kiara last week, she testified that, yeah, I went through that dark season. Yes, I attempted to commit suicide. Yes, I actually died. And, God spared me. I woke up and I was in the hospital, all that stuff. She experienced all that at a young age. And she was able to come out of this thing. And yes, I may have not been to that point, but yes, the thoughts have arisen. The thoughts came up because of the pain on our life. And so that's where you have to maintain your relationship with Christ. You have to get close to Christ, but also Talk about what you're going through. Let it out. Let it out. Go sit with a professional. Talk with a professional. Also get up under a covering that you can be ministered to, that you can be preached to every week on a constant basis. Because David said it best, the battle is not mine, but it is the Lord's. So why do I continue to put my hand in a battle or in a fight that don't belong to me? And so I want to encourage my family on today. Y'all my family, so I can just keep it real. Listen, get ahead of somebody. Get with some people that love you, like unconditionally, with no strings attached. Get with some people that would challenge you to become better and coach you to pull you out of that situation. And then also, when you beat yourself down, man, get up from there. Come on, man, we're going to do this together. I'm with you. And listen, family, I shared that story with you. I shared my story with you today because I want you to understand that we go through it just like you guys do. Yeah, we human just like you. We go through mental instability sometimes. We go through the fact, God, where are you? I'm preaching his word, but where are you, God? And I was encouraged today by my good friend and brother, Bishop Jackson, just talking to him. And he shared something with me that if God, this is all wrapped up in one, if God brought you to it, he'll bring you through it. And so if you really hear from God, you really hear his voice, God will not put you in a situation that he didn't know that you could handle it. And so God will not put no more than you will not put no more on you than you can bear. Remain faithful. Remain focused. Whatever dilemma you may be facing with today, tomorrow, next week, put it in God's hand. But also, if you need the help, seek the help. Because God didn't place professionals on this earth for you not to go seek them. It's time for us to get over the fact that, our culture don't deal with this, our culture don't, yes, we do. And we've been taught to put all that weight on our shoulders, and it stresses us out and it takes us out early. And by me sitting with my mental health counselor, it's helped me to grow and develop to the place that I am now. Listen, I'm still a work in progress. You are still a work in progress. And so today on My Pain, Your Gain, I want us to begin to look at us in the mirror and say, am I happy with me? Am I happy with who I am? Am I satisfied with who I am? What are the things that I need to do to make sure that I live? What are the things that I need to do to make sure that I not only survive, but I thrive in this season of my life? I sometimes I wake up, sometimes you wake up in the morning and you are like, when will this end? Let me help you out, man. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy will come in the morning. I wanted to use a day. Yes, I could have invited somebody on. Yes, I could have interviewed someone, but I wanted to use this session, this episode, this podcast, because maybe I didn't touch the words that we've spoken before or earlier hasn't touched anybody, or you just thought, man, that ain't me. Well, maybe I am talking to you because God placed it on my heart to do it again. And to just open my heart to you. If you are feeling neglected, if you are feeling stressed, Don't ignore it. Go get help first. Go seek the help. Because if you want to live, that is the antidote for your healing. God is prepping and providing a way for you. This is not the season to throw in the towel. This is not the season to say, I'm hanging my hat and I'm throwing it all away. No, no, no. You woke up this morning. You had breath in your body. You had life in your body. It doesn't matter what life throws at you. It's only temporary. But what are you willing to do to get out of it? What are the sacrifices are you willing to make to pull yourself? Are you willing to disconnect from negative energy? Are you willing to disconnect from poisonous people in your life that don't mean you any good? Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to accept the fact that there's some people that you claim to be in your corner, but as soon as you turn your back, they turn into the OJs that shout backstabbers? Because listen, as a child of God, you will face adversity. Listen, I'm not here to decorate nothing. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. I'm here to be real with you. As a child of God, you will face calamity. You will face trial. You will face tribulation. That's a part of the Christian faith. But you can also thrive while in the face of adversity. You can also be successful while in the face of adversity. Watch this. The Bible says, they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up on wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. That text never suggested to me that there was any complacency going on while waiting. In the process of every transition of that text, it says, they that wait upon the Lord, they shall what first? Mount up on wings as eagles. That's movement. They shall run and not be weary. That's still what? Movement. They shall walk and not faint. So even if I start off this race on the wings as eagles, I'm still waiting on God to take me toward my destiny, but he may not come when I want him to come. So watch this. I may get a little weary, so I start running, but I'm still moving. And then I may get a little bit more weary, but I'm still walking, but I'm still moving in the direction that God wants me to move in. And so just because God says wait, that don't mean I have to be stagnated or complacent in the place that I'm in. No, I can still be moving toward where God is really trying to take me. Listen, I'm going right back to David and I'm done. David said, yea, though I walk through the valley. He spoke over his situation. He says, I'm not staying in this valley long, but I'm walking through this thing. You may be in a valley this morning. You may be facing adversity in your life. But remember to maintain your integrity in the face of adversity. But while you're maintaining, continue to move toward your destiny, because destiny awaits for you on the other side. God bless you. Have a wonderful week. May heaven smile upon you. Listen, I love you. God bless you. I know that was old school. May heaven smile upon you. But may God bless you and keep you is our prayer, man. And listen, keep the faith. Hold on, because God has something greater for you. May God bless you. Grace and peace. Thank you for tuning in again this week. My Pain, Your Gain. Tune in next week, every week, 10 o'clock a.m., where the real keeps it real.
Do you have a business or product? Are you looking to advertise? Maybe to get the word out to thousands of people on a daily? You should consider the Inspired Network. We have affordable packages that can assist you at getting the word out about your product or business. Call us today at 866-804-6774.
Your financial support keeps the ministry alive. You can be a blessing by sowing via Cash App today at $TeachJax, or you can text to give at 833-481-1524 and text the word.
So you've been watching the show. Would you like to be a content provider yourself and develop a show for the Inspire Network? Please give us a call today at 904-389-5592 or go to www.connecttv.info to submit a show idea.
Have a praise report or a testimony of how any of the programming at the Inspired Network has been a blessing to you? Please go to www.myprayerrequest.info. Click on the tab Testimony and submit it today. The IPC prayer team would love to know how effective the ministry is being to you.
Do you love video production? Would you like to have a career in video production, but don't know where to start? Your problem is you have no one to teach you. Well, the Inspired Television Network is initiating its apprenticeship program. We'll teach you video production, how to set up the simple camera operation, post-production, and advanced editing. Imagine sitting down with an expert and being taught weekly how to do it. It's a 6-month program that requires a minimum of 10 hours a week of hands-on training and 3 hours a week of classroom training. You've always wanted to make movies or learn production. This is the perfect program for you. Give us a call today at 904-389-5592 or sign up at www.learntv.today. It's free for churches and nonprofits.
Do you need a morning prayer line? A place you can call to hear from God? Call the International Prayer Council Intercessory Prayer Line, Monday through